They shouldn't even have to buck it out. They already did so much damage to each other.
What would you guys want to say to Young and Ace, if you could say something to them?
Quit the violence. My mom, know your mom. Just quit the violence. Like, we don't want to get into this, and especially when we live close to your block, that's not real good.
And also, I feel like y'all need to stop all this violence talking about each other's dead relatives. Cause I know in some part of your heart, you feel messed up. Just how I said I wasn't on no side, like when I heard them talk about how Baby got on the floor and he was crawling, screaming, please don't shoot me. It was sad because you laughed at it like it was a joke. Death is not a joke. Death is something you don't want to play with. Cause when you die, you're gone. Let me tell you somewhere to go at. Go on Moncrief Road on the north side. They got so much shootings, bro. That's exactly, Baby got killed in 45th Street and Hilltop. You go to Hilltop, you gonna find somewhere. Cause
we're gonna go to Hilltop Apartments right now.
You for real? Don't, I won't do that.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Today, we're diving into the tragic story surrounding Julio Foolio. Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below if you're a supporter of Julio Foolio. From the very beginning, Julio Foolio had a strong following. He was known for his warnings to ATK Quise about potential dangers. Unfortunately, tensions escalated, allegedly involving ATK Quise in a shooting near a tree. Despite attempts to conceal his identity with a mask, ATK Quise involvement became apparent when Julio's location was leaked via text message. According to reports from JSO, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, Julio was present at the scene from 3:30 a.m. and tragically shot around 4 a.m. It was widely known that ATK Quise were on standby in their car, prepared to take action. Julio tried to flee, but was fatally struck. Even in a sturdy vehicle, Julio couldn't evade the attack. This incident underscores the importance for public figures like rappers to consider the necessity of bulletproof cars for their safety. Rest in peace, Julio Foolio. Let me know in the comments if you're a supporter of his. The aftermath has brought ATK Quise under intense scrutiny. Despite their belief in safety, they failed to cover their tracks effectively. The ATF, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives, has launched a comprehensive investigation, especially following the emergence of video evidence. Questions arise: was it a set? Speculation points to Tasha or another woman at the hotel who disclosed Julio's whereabouts. This tragic event highlights ongoing senseless violence that continues to devastate communities. In Florida, Julio Foolio faced opposition, yet even critics condemned ATK Quise actions. Julio maintained resilience against adversaries, with friends attempting to warn him of the looming danger. ATK Quise misjudgment has led them to evade law enforcement. They underestimated the scrutiny of the ATF. Funding for the attack reportedly came from young Ace, who has ties to Chicago. Despite their connections, ATK Quise did not foresee the consequences. Following Julio's death, a controversial music video was swiftly released, further fueling tensions. Julio's influence sparked rivalries and diss tracks, and now, MLA is seeking justice. Julio considered leaving Jacksonville but remained loyal despite the risks. Success often demands distancing oneself from hometowns to avoid potential threats. A video revealed females near Julio's car, prompting suspicion and raising unanswered questions. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe to stay updated. Despite differing narratives, the truth will ultimately prevail.
Well, Florida rapper Julio Foolio was shot and killed in Tampa overnight. Foolio, whose legal name is Charles Jones, was celebrating his 26th birthday when this all happened. According to his lawyer, Jones was at an Airbnb when his group was asked to leave because there were simply too many people there. They then ended up at a Holiday Inn in northern Tampa where the rapper was gunned down. So far, no arrests have been made. 3 other people were injured.
Police say a man was chased and then shot and killed.
These groups, I won't name them, they know who they are. We're not going to tolerate any retribution, any revenge.
3 deadly shootings happening across our area overnight.
A man was found dead in a garage on Jacksonville's south side this morning.
New at 5, a man in his early 20s is in the hospital right now following a shooting in northwest Jacksonville. JSO says he was hit up to 4 times in the shoulder and back.
I talked to a witness who told me the car came from this direction and then slammed right into this building.
Breaking news. A man is dead in an early morning shooting. Officers say that they were called out to the lakeshore area just after 5 this morning, and it came reporting off of a gunfire report.
Overnight, one person is in stable condition. This is after being shot in what the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is calling a drive-by shooting.
One man is dead after he was shot and then crashed his car into a building on Myrtle Avenue last night in Jacksonville.
Tonight, police investigating after a man crashed his car into this building, then died from a gunshot wound. Three deadly shootings happening across our area overnight. At 11:10 p.m., a man shot multiple times at an Orange Park apartment complex died. Then at 11:50 p.m., a woman was found suffering from gunshot wounds in downtown Jacksonville. And at 1:05 this morning, a man shot and killed at the corner of 4th Street North and 6th Avenue North in Jacksonville Beach. Tonight, police are looking for 2 suspects.
Developing overnight, one person is in stable condition. This is after being shot in what the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is calling a drive-by shooting on the city's north side. JSO says this happened right at about 8:30 last night on Sperring Street. They say the victim was sitting in a car with 2 other people when someone else shot toward the vehicle from a white sedan. That sedan then drove away. JSO tells us the victim was taken to the hospital after being shot in the leg. JSO spoke to witnesses and looked for surveillance video, but if you have any helpful information, we urge to please give Crime Stoppers a call.
Tonight, police investigating after a man crashed his car into this building, then died from a gunshot wound. This happened on Myrtle Avenue in the Durkeeville area. On your side, ATK Quise spoke with a man who says he saw it all happen.
It happened here on Myrtle Avenue just after midnight. I talked to a witness who told me the car came from this direction and then slammed right into this building. It's been taped up now, but earlier you could see the window had been smashed out and the metal framing bent inwards.
I was standing over there and I seen the car just hit.
The driver, a man, according to police. The witness, who goes by Houston, says when he saw the crash, he went over to help.
And I grabbed him and I pulled him out from the passenger side. I brought him to the floor. I try to keep him as conscious as I can. The police came.
Investigators say when they found the man, they noticed he had been shot. He was taken to the hospital where he died. It's unclear what led up to the shooting or where the shooting took place. Now, JSO is investigating this incident along with their partners at the Medical Examiner's Office and the State Attorney's Office. Reporting in Jacksonville, Tia Collins, First Coast News, on your side.
At 5, a man in his early 20s is in the hospital right now following a shooting in northwest Jacksonville. JSO says he was hit up to 4 times in the shoulder and back on Pierce Street. Police are looking for a gray or purple car in connection with that shooting. The victim's condition is not being revealed right now.
Early morning shooting. Officers say that they were called out to the lakeshore area just after 5 this morning, and it came reporting off of a gunfire report that's off of Appleton Ave and Retaw Street. Here's a map to give you an idea there, and we find Action News Jack's Jessica Barreto live from that area. And Jessica, it's still active there. Police say the suspect is on the loose.
It is still an active scene out here, and the suspect still has not been found. Now, I want to show you what the scene looks like behind me. Still a lot of deputies out here. JSO has been out here for more than 4 hours at this point. There are also homicide detectives here. Now, a man is dead after a shooting here off Appleton Avenue and Retaw Street in the Lakeshore area that's on the west side. Now, at 5:20 this morning, JSO says they received several 911 calls after several people heard gunshots. They found the victim in the grass with gunshot wounds. He passed away. They still have not confirmed his identity. Now, witnesses say they also saw a man running from this area, but there is still no concrete ties from that man to this scene. However, JSO says they're not sure if this was a targeted incident, but say there could still be a threat to this community until that suspect is found. If you have any information on this incident, you are urged to call JSO. That number 904-630-0500. You can also call Crime Crime Stoppers. That number, 1-866-845-877. Now, JSO is still out here canvassing the neighborhood, trying to talk to neighbors and figure out what happened this morning. Reporting live from the west side, Jessica Barreto, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
In a press conference held after the death of Foolio, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office claimed to have leads on Foolio's murder, as they were working on soon making an arrest.
If I may generically ask a question about something else.
Yep.
Generically speaking, what are your thoughts about the glorification of violence on social media, gangs, the detriment to the community, the danger that it poses?
I mean, unfortunately, I think young people think this is a game, and you know, there'll be comments about this in the statement that I make, and they make it like it's a video game. It's not. This is real life. So he has a mother, you know, he has parents, siblings, probably friends, and they have to deal with these kind of losses, and it's unfortunate. Now the next thing is these groups. I won't name them. They know who they are. We're not going to tolerate any retribution, any revenge. We're going to watch. We're going to be around, paying attention to what's going on. But it's unfortunate. It should never happen to our kids. And I've never seen so much devaluing of human life. You know, it's like it's fun, and they talk about it in rap videos and songs, and it doesn't make any sense.
What's your message to anyone who might be a younger person who might be considering this kind of love on the streets?
Well, this is not a game. Is my message. This is not something that we're going to tolerate around town. I think the media, I think the citizens of Jacksonville, I think everyone feels the same way. This is not something that's okay. This is not something we're going to tolerate, and we're going to pay very close attention. So don't get involved. Stay away from the nonsense.
I've heard some people concerned about the safety here in Jacksonville and retribution. Is that a viable concern? What is the police doing?
So I can tell you that I've made several phone calls and discussions with the undersheriff and staff members about paying very close attention to certain groups that I know are clashing with one another. They know who they are, and we are going to pay very close attention to make sure that, you know, we're not going to allow you to just arbitrarily run around and spray bullets into people's houses and cars, and it's just something that we're going to pay very close attention to, and I want the public to be vigilant. Pay attention when you see these things going on. Look, the social media world is called meta for a reason. It's make-believe. It's not real life. Real life is what happened to Julio yesterday, and that happens, and it should not happen. So we're going to be paying very, very close attention.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Sergeant Josh Cater with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit. At around 9:30 this morning, officers were dispatched to the 10,000 block of Gatewood Glen Court in reference to a deceased individual. When they arrived on scene, they locate what we believe to be an adult male deceased inside a garage. At this time, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit, Crime Scene Unit, and our partners with the State Attorney's Office are currently on scene conducting the investigation. At this time, all we know is some family members came back from vacation to learn that who they believe to be their son was found deceased inside the residence. At this time, we cannot confirm that, and we'll be getting with our medical examiner's office to do so. Like I said, at this time, detectives are currently in the neighborhood, going door to door, looking for any witnesses and or video surveillance that could help us figure out what actually happened. With that being said, we do not know the circumstances that relating to this incident or the relationship of those involved. Because of this classification of the incident will be in pending status while we work with the medical examiner's office and the state attorney's office. As always, if anybody has any information that could aid us in this investigation, we're asking you to call a non-emergency number, 904-630-0500. If you wish to go through email, it's jsocrimetips@jacksheriff.org. Or as always, if you wish to remain anonymous, you can go through Crime Stoppers at 1-866-845-TIPS. I'll take a couple questions, however, I have very limited information. Well, right now we do not know exactly who it is. We're only going off what the parents believe, that there should have been an adult male that lived there. So they're assuming that it is him, but due to the fact that decomp stages and working with the medical examiner's office to give 100% identification. Right now, there is some things that we believe to be foul plays involved. However, we're not ready to release that information because it could hinder the investigation. As I said a second ago, the family came home from a vacation and found the individual in the garage who they believe to be their child. Right now, we are still working on a search warrant to get into the residence, and we're still working to get up to that point, collecting evidence where we can call the medical examiner's office. So I do not have that information. Adult male. Definitely not a child. All right, thank you.
Well, was there a vehicle in the garage with them or no?
No.
Well, right now, police looking for the people who killed rapper Julio Foolio in a weekend shooting in Tampa.
3 others were injured in that shooting. We are told they are all in stable condition. 8 on your sides, Chloe Sparks is live where this happened along Fowler Avenue, not too far from USF. What's the latest this morning, Chloe?
A suspect has still not been identified, but a Jacksonville crime analyst believes that the shooter at large could be from a rival group in Jacksonville, where Julio Foolio is from. While fans and loved ones mourn the loss of Jacksonville rapper Julio Foolio, Tampa police are working to bring his murderer to justice.
There are cameras here, and our officers are working to view all of the cameras and talk with people, who might have seen anything or heard anything.
3 other people were victims of this shooting in a Tampa hotel parking lot. The other victims are believed to be in a stable condition.
At this point, it's part of the investigation, but it seems that they might have been coming here to the hotel to get a room.
After getting kicked out of an Airbnb where Julio Foolio was celebrating his 26th birthday, according to his social media. A Jacksonville crime analyst believes those posts might have played a big role in Foolio's death.
Doing this for so long, I would tend to think this is more of a Jacksonville-based regional kind of beef between 2 groups. Maybe took advantage of a foolish posting that was out there saying where he was, and that's the downside of that.
According to a Jacksonville report, Foolio was shot at least twice in the last few years before he was shot and killed here in the parking lot. The most recent incident was in October when he was shot in the foot. And in 2021, Foolio was grazed by a bullet in a drive-by shooting in Jacksonville.
So his murder comes, and somebody from a rival group is now going to get out there and need to be retaliated against in their eyes for his murder, and then that just keeps going.
Foolio's lawyer telling a Jacksonville reporter his client was basically ambushed.